Hello, Dark Moon Doll here. Today I wanted to give you an update on the upcycled dress I've been working on for quite a while. I would explain it as being a hippie, bohemian, gypsy, goddess, shamanic dress. That's how I would explain it, and it's coming along swimmingly. I hope you guys have been enjoying the progress of it, and I really believe in recycling and upcycling as much as you can, and this dress is totally made from that. So if you haven't seen the past videos where I talk about this dress and upcycled and recycled art, wearable art, please do check out those past videos. Yeah, so I'm going to just show it to you and show you what kind of progress I've made on it, and I'll be right back and grab it. So hello, I'm back. This is the dress in question. I've done quite a bit on this dress. I have the goddess figure connected by flowers representing Mother Earth. I have the pentagrams on each side of the sleeves representing protection, and the 5 elements: earth, air, fire, water, and ether. On the bottom, I started making a spiral. So we're going to have a spiral on this side and a spiral on the other side. So this is what the dress looks like so far, thus far. And also what I've done today, working on it, I added a zipper on the side there. So I was thinking about doing on the shows, trying it on and see how it fits, so that I can determine what size this dress is. So I'm going to be right back, and I'm going to try it on and show you what it looks like. Okay, so I'm back. I got a hat on so you can actually really see what it looks like. But this is what it looks like tried on. Not too bad. I haven't zipped it up yet. So when I zip it up, I'll show you what it looks like, how it fits. So if I don't zip up the sleeve in there. So I'm glad that I put the zipper on there, because I've been talking about putting a zipper on it for the longest. So there it is. So it fits perfectly. What size am I, you might ask? So this is what it looks like. This is the best I can do for showing you how it looks. With me trying it on. If I could put it right here and then step back, and then I can show you more. Let's do that, see? That's how it looks. I have leggings underneath. But that's how it looks so far, and this is the back of it. Yeah, I'll try to see if I could get one of my family members to take a photo of the back, because that's the hardest thing to take a photo of. But once this is finished, I'm definitely going to sell it. But it's looking good so far. I like the way it fits. Kind of in the back, it's kind of different and awkward the way it fits. It fits perfectly in the shoulders. So yeah, it's just all hand sewn from recycled fabrics, and I just wanted to show you what I've done with it so far and how it's coming along swimmingly. So yeah, just want to straighten out a few puckers here and there, and I still have some embroidery and beads that I want to add to this. But I like this. Some people may not like the actually long sleeves, but I kind of like that, because I have this sweater that I bought a few years back with the bells. I guess you call them bell sleeves, but I like that kind of style of sleeve, like a bigger sleeve. Definitely nothing you'd want to do housework in or wash dishes in. But definitely when I finish this, I'm definitely going to have it for sale. And it's a dress that you would wear on a special occasion, maybe to celebrate the changing of the seasons, maybe for a wedding, yeah, maybe for who knows, I mean, anniversary. So yeah, I like that I put the zipper in there, so that way you'll know what size it is. So I'll size it. I don't know what size I am, to tell you the truth, guys. Because yeah, my body's gone through some changes since I moved. So I lost some weight and maybe gained some weight through muscle from doing a lot more active, busy things. So, but I wanted to give you a little look-see of what it looks like so far. I'm going to pause this and come back with my other clothes on, and I'm going to work a little bit more on it on this show today. So I'll be right back. And if you want to work along, you have a little project, sewing project you want to do while you watch, feel free to do that. I'll be right back. So hello, I'm back. So I'm going to show you what I've worked on today as far as this dress goes. I showed you how I did the zipper. I have a zipper on the side so it'll fit perfectly to adjust to whatever size that dress is. I'm going to have to measure it out before I sell it so I'll know exactly what size it'll fit. So here we go. I'll show you what I've been working on. I've been working on this spiral on this side, and the way that I put designs, embroidery designs onto this fabric for this dress is that I draw out the design first on the fabric with a Sharpie, and then I come around and embroider over the design that I drew out with the Sharpie. That's how I do that. The zipper basically is a recycled zipper. This was from a dress that I had hand painted and put designs on. But I didn't end up liking the dress, but I liked the fabric of the dress and the design that was on the dress. This is actually the exact design that was on the dress, and I turned it into a handbag or a little purse. But yeah, that's what happened to the rest of the fabric. This was originally a dress, but I turned it into a dress, and I took the zipper out of it, and that's another form of upcycling, is saving elements of a garment. You may not like the whole garment itself, but you might like some aspects of it, like it may have a nice good working zipper, or it might have some really nice buttons or beads on it, or the fabric in itself can be used for other things like making beads. So basically I just sewed the zipper on by hand. When you're sewing by hand, you want to be able to make sure that you sew really thoroughly over and over again. That way it won't fall apart. This is a type of garment that you're not going to want to hand wash. You're going to want to wash by hand, or you can get it dry cleaned. Washing it by hand works just well because this is all fabric pretty much, except for the front part of the dress where I have like broken found jewelry that I put on there on either side. These I'm going to sew onto there so they're not just flapping around in the wind, but definitely want to wash this by hand or dry clean it. So yeah, I'm going to get to working on that spiral while I talk to you guys about the importance of upcycling and recycling. I've noticed there's not much on online to find anything about it that's interesting, that anybody's really talking about it. I find a few sites here and there, but it's nothing. Nobody's really talking too much about it. Let me see if can I raise this up a little bit so you can see me better. What if I put it up here? That's probably too high. Just trying to get a better vantage point. And you to still be able to see what I'm doing. I don't think that's going to work. That's not going to work. The lighting's better though. What if I put it this way? Sorry about the all of a sudden shifting of things, but there we go. That's a little bit better. A little bit better lighting. So yeah, how's that? I'll just put this across me here so you can see what I'm working on. I would like to devote more time to working on my wearable art creations, and when I do these videos, I hope it inspires you to recycle and upcycle whenever you can. The most shabbiest of fabrics people would just shun, but then you could take them and turn them into a work of art, some wearable art. So whether it's a handbag, a dress, a pair of pants, it can all be recycled pretty much. And with the fabrics, I wash the fabrics out really well and dry them thoroughly before I use the recycled fabric, so there's no worry about my clothing being unclean or dirty or whatever. It will definitely be that. It will be clean, it'll be dry, and it'll be well sewn, because I know how important it is for people to have a well sewn garment, and not have something that falls apart within, just a few months. I think that's the one thing about, and I'm not speaking like I know I can definitely tell you that I was there, but I just feel like in the past, there were people that only, well, I mean, that's only logical that people only sewed by hand because there weren't any machines invented, any sewing machines invented. So I could just imagine indigenous people sitting around a fire and sewing things by hand. Special things like some certain garments were made just for rituals, for celebrating the changing of the seasons. So do a big ritual like um, thanking the gods and goddesses of for whatever season it is, harvest season or summer solstice, whatever you're celebrating. I could see the indigenous peoples sitting around a fire and just sewing to their heart's content and making these beautiful garments to celebrate these seasons. That's what I think about a lot of times when I'm sewing, when I'm creating a piece of wearable art. Whether it's, and also whether it's sewing or painting too, because I made some really interesting creations with just taking like a pair of jeans and just painting a design on them, and that is wearable art indeed. I ended up with those pair of jeans. I ended up turning it into a handbag because the jeans didn't fit right on me. So I turned them into a handbag and I sold the handbag. It was huge. It's a huge handbag. It got pretty elaborate because not only did I hand paint the handbag, I also attached some of my drawings that I draw. And that's a technique I can show you guys once I get more materials because I'm all out of Mod Podge. But Mod Podge pretty much seals in the design of the drawing and it affixes it to fabric really easily. And it helps it to stay on the fabric easily. So if you have an old drawing that you want to preserve, Mod Podge is one way you can do it. You can put it on the fabric and it'll stick. You got to put a generous amount on there, and you have to let it dry in between coats. I need my water. Yeah, one step at a time with this dress. Whenever I work on it, how do I decide what to do next? Because it may seem like there's a lot of randomness going on with this dress, but excuse me, tickly throat. But I'm being guided uh, when I work on it. I feel like I'm being guided by my ancestors and by my higher self, because this is definitely a stream of consciousness creation. Stream of consciousness creation to me is when I get into a meditative state of mind and the images that suit what I'm working on best come to the forefront, and I try to implement those ideas that come from my head as best as I can. And therein lies the fun of creating this type of artwork where you're just going intuitively with what you feel is right, what you think is going to turn out nicely onto whatever you're working on. And I found it to be such a pleasure to work that way. I have worked under situations where people will commission me to do a certain piece, but even within that commission type of realm, I've been able to have some sort of freedom based on the type of art that I've made in the past, because people will look at what I've made and what I'm making currently, and so they get an idea of what kind of art to expect from me if they ask me to do a portrait or or just an abstract painting or something. So, which is something I haven't done in a while, is abstract paintings. I have one in my room, or not in my room, in this room actually. Abstract paintings that I'd love to be able to finish. It's just being able to have all the materials to do what you want to do. It's not always available for me, so That's why I got into so many different mediums, because what would happen, like I'd be painting a really ambitious painting and then I run out of paint. So because I'm a creative soul and I like to create every day, I'm like, what can I do that's creative today that doesn't involve paint? Because I don't have any. Well, maybe I can draw. So then I start drawing. And then next thing I know, I'm all out of the colors that I'm using. Okay, so what can I do that doesn't involve drawing? Because I'm all out of pencils. So then I've got plenty of thread and plenty of, of needles and plenty of fabric. So that's where all this embroidery and hand sewn beads, fabric beads have come from. My need to continue to be creative, regardless of the lack of materials that I may or may not have available to me as an artist. So I'm a mixed media artist. That's what's happened because of that. Um, I started off as just drawing, and then the drawing turned into painting a lot. And what I learned through my adventures of trying all these different mediums is definitely some mediums are more expensive than others, for real. For instance, painting, I mean, especially oil paints. Oil paints, sometimes you can find deals on them, like I did. I found a set of oil paints for $3.99. But normally, if you get like the upper crust oil paints like Grumbarker and Windsor, those are like the top-notch oil paints, and they're way top-notch in price. Um, but when you get them, you don't need that much because the pigments are so pure and so beautiful and rich that you can dilute them if you need to. But yeah, that's what happens. That's why I've ended up becoming a mixed media artist, and I started exploring recycled materials quite a while ago. I got really fascinated by how people were saving um, soda pop lids and beer bottle lids and stuff like that, and making jewelry out of it. I thought that was really creative stuff that people would consider trash and turning it into works of art. And that's a lot of what I've been doing lately, is turning what people consider trash into art. Um, all of these items alone by themselves, items of recycled fabric that I'm using on this dress, some people would just dismiss and say, this is just trash, we're just going to throw this in a trash and be done with it, or take it to a thrift store. And like I've said before, there's no guarantee that these thrift store items will be sold, and most likely a lot of these items that aren't sold end up on landfills, and that's obviously not good for our environment. We're already inhaling enough crap. Why we gotta inhale some more? So I'm not telling you to be a hoarder and save every single little thing you got, but try to be resourceful as best you can with the resources you have, and try to recycle as much as you can. Sometimes it becomes a necessity when you don't have hardly anything, so you work with whatever you have. When I was growing up as a kid, it was like that. I mean, especially when my mom became primarily a single mother, I had to like mend clothing, my own clothing. I would end up wearing hand-me-downs for my brother. I would end up like shopped at thrift stores, really like once a year, and then that trip you're getting like your fall clothes. Actually, probably twice a year, because we would get fall clothes and fall and winter clothes, and then the next time we'd go shopping at the store, we get spring and summer clothes. So I learned how when you don't have anything, hardly anything as far as financial means, money, cash, you find ways of saving. And my mom was trying to do that by having us shop at thrift stores. I really didn't like it when I was a kid, because I was trying to appease my peers, my peers that I figured would never want to be seen in a thrift store. And and just what that means if you're shopping at a thrift store. I felt like, I don't know, I just felt like I didn't want to associate with anybody that shops at a thrift store. And now it's considered cool to do that, you know. When I was a kid, it was embarrassing to me because everybody was wearing really name brand clothing, and I was wearing stuff from years past, you know, retro. I was dressing really retro, which would be considered very cool these days, though. So even wearing hand-me-downs would probably be considered cool these days. Everything that was so like embarrassing and something that I really didn't want to be a part of as I was growing up, now I notice there's a trend in it, you know. And that's why when you go to thrift stores, it's not thrifty, you know. It's not priced much higher, the clothing sometimes not priced much higher than if you were to go to Ross or TJ Maxx or Marshalls for that matter. So if you guys are familiar with any of those stores, thrift stores are kind of becoming akin to those places. They're kind of the same, one and the same, if you ask me. Well, we're at the 21-minute mark, so I'm going to wrap up this video for today. And I hope you guys enjoyed me trying on this bohemian, hippie, shamanic goddess dress. I'll keep you updated on the progress on it. I want to, well, there's a part of me that wants to be able to work on it every day, a little bit every day. And then there's a part of me that says I can only work on it when I feel it. Because if I work on it any other time, I'll end up ruining it, just like any of my other artwork that I do. So, yeah, thanks for joining me. Thanks for subscribing to my channel. Thanks for the likes and shares. And thank you for your kind comments. Leave your comments down below. Let me know if you're working on some wearable art project. That's how the spiral's turning out. You see the loose threads? That's not going to stay like that for long. I'm going to neaten that up, make it look better. But that's what it looks like so far on the spiral. So I'm going to do a spiral on the other side once I finish this spiral. And continue to work on some beads to finish it off. I think beading is what's going to finish this piece off. You know, I was thinking about on the front of here having a place for the god too, because you got the goddess all on here, but I wanted to have the god on here too. So I don't know, maybe I'll embroider him on this side and then embroider him on this side. Well, I can't really do that because this side is filled with more beads than this side is. And I was planning on, I'll show you what beads I'm talking about. It's these beads here, these like tribal little faces on here. I was gonna carry those all out all the way down, and then just like I did on this side with the tribal faces. Let me see if I can get it positioned just right so you can see it. See how the tribal faces are on this side? I wanted to carry that all the way down to the bottom of the dress and do the same thing on both sides to even it out. So I don't know if I'll have space for the god. I could put the god on the bottom part of it, you know, two gods on either side, and on the back too. So on the back part here. So this is how it's looking so far. I'm really happy with how it's turning out, and yeah, I love it. And I'm gonna take photos of myself wearing it and put it on Instagram so maybe you can see better photos of it. And the photo that I use for the profile will give you a better idea too of what this dress looks like when you try it on. I'm enjoying the process, and I hope you guys are enjoying the process, and actually inspiring you to be creative and to upcycle and recycle whenever you can. It's very important, and helps to unleash your creativity as well. Helps you to get out of the mundane way of thinking, of the waking world thinking, and to get into sink into your imagination and let your imagination explore. So thanks for joining me today, guys. Brightest blessings to you all. Thanks for subscribing to my channel. Thanks for the likes and shares. And thank you for your kind comments. And I think I said all that already. If you'd like to support this channel, you can donate $1 or more to my PayPal at kdaddy2mama@comcast.net and include a question you'd like to see answered on an upcoming show. It's not required to donate in order to watch the videos on this channel. It is just people have asked how they can support this channel and my other channels, the Productive Cannabis Connoisseur and Healing with Color. Those are the other channels I have other than the Dark Moon Doll channel here. And yeah, if you want to, you can. If you don't want to, you don't have to. It would help for me to get a better camera because I'm using my phone camera for everything. You can also check out my BitChute channel and my Black Junction TV channel, and I'll have all those links in the description below. So yeah, thanks for joining me today, guys. Please do stay creative. Hope you're having a wonderful Saturday, or whatever day it is for you. Yeah, never be afraid to express yourself, and never be afraid to try to recycle whenever you can. So, greatest blessings to y'all, and I'll see you soon. Peace.